Good morning. I'm Pat Lawson with Action News 11 headlines. For the thousands of Marylanders who heat their homes with natural gas, the news that BG&E gas prices will jump 30% this winter was chilling enough.
New Jersey Network News with Kent Manahan and Mark Levinson.
Good evening.
This is CNN Headline News. You're in tune with the world.
A record-breaking day on Wall Street. Hello, I'm Rick Brown.
And I'm Chuck Roberts, Walt.
Good morning. Tragedy Sunday at Chicago's Conrad Hilton Hotel.
Issues and Answers brings you two special half-hour programs, both dealing with the presidential campaign of 1976. In the first half hour, one of the nation's most significant Senate races, Daniel P. Moynihan, liberal Democratic candidate from New York, Senator James L. Buckley, conservative Republican from New York, both running for the United States Senate from New York, a political showdown of national significance, providing a test of conservative versus liberal philosophy in New York and in the nation. In the second Issues and Answers half hour, President Ford's economic advisor, William Seidman, and Jimmy Carter's economic issues coordinator, Jerry Jazanowski, with two contrasting views of the nation's economy, prices, wages, employment, and inflation, the most important domestic issues in the presidential campaign. From the nation's capital, from news centers around the world, from America's farms and factories, cities and suburbs, from wherever thoughtful people search for answers to the issues of the day, ABC News presents the award-winning interview program, Issues and Answers. Issues and Answers is brought to you by Exxon.
An ABC News Brief brought to you by Andrew Jergens, Aloe and Lanolin. Now from Washington, Ted Koppel.
Good evening. Israeli protests over the Beirut massacre continue to build today as the Red Cross in Lebanon reported another mass grave, pushing the Palestinian death toll to 317. Prime Minister Begin, bowing to growing criticism, today called for an investigation by the Chief Justice of Israel's Supreme Court. But the judge says he cannot do so until two lawsuits demanding a more sweeping investigation are resolved. 350 French paratroopers came ashore in Beirut today. The day after Senate conservatives suffered a major defeat over school prayer, President Reagan has promised to continue the fight and use his presidency as a pulpit to push the issue.
I believe this country is hungry for a spiritual revival, and we're not going to give up on those social issues that have to do with the morals of this country and the great standards that made this country great.
The National Football League owners have agreed to resume negotiations with the striking players this weekend. Now this. Tonight on Nightline, we'll examine a disease which may affect as many as 1 out of every 5 adult Americans, genital herpes.
The #1 primetime news hour in Los Angeles. Award-winning Hal Fishman, Jan Caro, Larry McCormick, Stu Nahan with sports. Channel 5, News at 10.
K2 News talks exclusively with the new owner of the Parkway Plaza. He explains what will happen next at the hotel.
Plus, tax collectors say they fear for their safety at gun shows. Changes are on the way. That and more just seconds from now.
You're watching the K2 News at 10.
Good evening and welcome to the K2 News at 10. I'm Jodianne Thompson.
And I'm Denise Pernula. Thank you for joining us.
Topping our news this hour, the company that owns the Parkway Plaza is having serious financial troubles.
Stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back.
Live from the K2 studios in the heart of Wyoming, this is the K2 News at 10. With Jodian Thompson, Denise Pernula, Chief Meteorologist Chris Simmons, and Sports with Jack Noakes. K2, Wyoming's only true HD newscast. Today's closed caption.
You're watching News Center 1.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Justin Wickersham, filling in for Brittany Scheck. Thank you for joining us for News Center 1 today. Coming up in this half hour, Wells Fargo says it's laying off 3,800 employees over the next year.
You're watching News Center 1 weather with meteorologist Taylor Nicolaisen.
Good morning, welcome back. I kind of had to familiarize myself with that as well. This is a graphic we made a few days ago. High temperature in Rapid City, 65 degrees. That was a new record. It was the cold.
Check out the community calendar at newscenter1.tv and click on community. I'll have the latest news and weather throughout the morning, and be sure to watch News Center 1 tonight at 5:30 and 10. We now go to NBC in New York for the Today Show. Have a great weekend, everyone.
This is WGEM News Today with Natalie Will and Chief Meteorologist Rich Kane.
Good morning. Today is Monday, July 12th, 2010. I'm Natalie Will.
Good morning. I'm Rich Kane.
Can you believe and much more coming up right now?
You're watching the weekend edition of the Color 8 News at 10.
4th of July celebrations are kicking off across the area. Good evening.
A happy...
From WBNG TV, your news leader, this is Action News at 6.
Serving your town and all of northern Michigan, this is 7 and 4 News at 11.
People are going to start seeing those services that are offered.
You're watching 7 and 4 News at 11 with Mark Cholette, Diana Fairbanks, Chief Meteorologist Mark Watkins, and Giacomo Accardo with sports.
正在逃亡嘅前洛杉磯警察 Christopher Dorner 喺殺多一個警察之後，被包圍喺 San Bernardino 山區一間屋裏邊。嗰間屋下晝燒咗。聯合國安理會強烈譴責北韓無視國際社會嘅制裁，進行第3次核試。被困喺漂浮咗幾日嘅郵輪，廁所又壞咗，感覺係點樣嘅呢？
We don't have any masks for breathing. It's disgusting.
林書豪喺林來風熱潮之後，首次翻嚟灣區比賽。
There's no place like home.
新聞嘅詳細內容，一陣間同大家報道。各位觀眾，歡迎大家收睇今晚嘅粵語新聞。今日係2月12號星期2，我係黃厚斌。另外，我哋會同大家報道中國中央民族樂團喺史丹福大學舉行新年音樂會。此外，亦會報道中國河源嘅水蛇養殖場，希望蛇年會為佢哋帶嚟更多嘅生意。
공동사설을 통해 남북 간 대결 해소를 촉구했던 북한이 상호 비방을 중지하고 당국 간 회담을 무조건 갖자고 제의했습니다. 구제역 예방 접종을 맞은 한우가 구제역에 감염되는 등 구제역이 통제 불능 상태로 확산되고 있습니다.